Chart's research notes, property of Chart. This is an old crater. The neat thing here is that the composition of the samples I took from the impact site matches the composition of the ice on the outskirts of Dark Bramble. I'd posit the Attlerock was hit with a piece of the planet that used to be where Dark Bramble now lies. To follow up upon, maybe there are more fragments of the old planet Dark Bramble destroyed on other asteroid bodies in the solar system. Wow. I've seen this ruin in other travelers' pictures, but seeing it for myself, it's really old, isn't it? But wow, this is the coolest day of my life. Okay, time for some official notes. So this is some kind of Know My locator. It can point out the different planets, which is incredibly cool, by the way. But from what little I can understand of the writing here, I think it was built to try and find something specific. I'm not sure. I also was able to translate something about the South Pole of Brittle Hollow, so I'll fly there to see if I can learn more. Yep, just gonna get back in the old ship and take off. Totally safe. Mostly safe. No stars above. Where should this new, more sophisticated locator be built? It may need to be larger than this ice signal locator is. Inanna and those of us originally stranded on the Ember Twin built a quantum moon locator there, but the heat of the sun made its construction challenging. I wouldn't recommend building on that planet. The southern glacier on Brittle Hollow has ample available space. I would construct a new building to house this proposed locator. Yes, let's build there. I imagine our young friend Conroy would enjoy that immensely. He's always held a great interest in the eye, especially for a child born so long after the crash. I will begin construction on Brittle Hollow's South Pole immediately then. I was upstairs testing the eye signal locator, and it can hear and follow the signals from the Sun, Giant's Deep, and Brittle Hollow. However, something strange is happening when I ask the eye signal locator to follow the eye signal. The device's indicator rotates wildly and never points to just one location. I see. I most likely calibrated the locator incorrectly. Privet, my apprentice, and I will make adjustments and try again. An update. Disappointingly, everything is correctly calibrated after all. It saddens me to posit this, my friends, but I believe we need to build a more sophisticated device if we want to find the exact location of the Eye of the Universe. Then we will build it. Don't lose hope, Cassava. Our search for the Eye is what brought our clan to this place. We won't give up so easily. This is a curious result. It is possible the Eye has stopped calling out its signal. That's interesting. Blackhole Forge. The Nomai crafted warp cores at the Blackhole Forge before delivering them to Ash Twin. One of the 3 Nomai pods that crashed in our solar system. All 3 were launched from something called the Vessel. There's more to explore here. Rybeck's camp. Rybeck has set up camp at the bottom of the crossroads. Their excitement at being surrounded by so much Nomai history is matched only by their terror of the black hole. Rybeck is Timberhearth's only archaeologist. They overcame their fear of space to explore Brittle Hollow's treasure trove of Nomai culture. The Nomai decided to build a larger, more sophisticated eye signal locator on Brittle Hollow's South Pole. Rybeck says you can't get into the observatory from the surface. They tried, but there's probably a path to it beneath the crust somewhere. There's a door to the observatory on the surface, but it is broken. Tower of Quantum Knowledge. This tower, located on the equator, held useful knowledge for Nomai embarking on their pilgrimage. You know this. The Quantum Shard. The Hanging City. There's a huge Nomai city just to the north of Rybeck's campsite. Northern Glacier. The northern pole of Brittle Hollow is covered in snow and ice. There is a uniquely shaped Nomai ruin on the surface. Nomai were able to warp here from Vital Station. This is where they first recreated warp technology. Eye signal locator. Device to pinpoint the sources of distant signals. They were disappointed by their failure to detect a signal from something called the Eye of the Universe. Okay. Escape pod 2. So we found 1. city. A Nomai city built into the walls of a huge underground cavern. The city is divided into 4 districts. There's still more to explore in the Sunless City. Anglerfish fossil. I found a cave with a large fossil inside, but it's only big enough for my scout. Entrance is hard to see unless the anglerfish is fed a light first. Gravity cannon, Chirrut's camp, lakebed cave. There's more to explore in the lakebed cave. Quantum caves. Higher energy lab. Negative time interval measured at the White Hole Station was further investigated at the high energy lab in the canyon at Ember Twins Equator. The high energy lab can only be accessed by a path from the Sunless City. Oops. The Nomai hypothesized that it might be that. Okay. There's more to explore here. White Hole. This lantern. For some reason, they put the orbital probe cannon on indefinite hiatus. It was asked not to fire. A long-range probe was recently launched from the cannon, so there's more to explore. Let's go with Giant's Deep first. Grow. We haven't found Grow yet. We found the construction yard, but there's still more to find. The shuttle is currently resting at the Quantum Moon. So it's at the Quantum Moon. Interesting. Activate the gravity cannon. Call the shuttle home. I am here. After watching it wander the skies for so long, I am about to stand for the first time on the quantum moon. As expected, my shuttle has landed at the moon's south pole. I will make the remainder of my journey on foot. We don't know why the quantum moon always welcomes its visitors at the South Pole, just that this is true. As a child, I considered such unknowns sinister. Now, though I understand they bear no ill will, the universe is, and we are. I am ready. Okay. Not sure what this does. Maybe it sent me out again. Didn't really send me much of anywhere. Wait a second, maybe if I leave my scout here. Maybe that'll show me where the thing is. Gonna let that run for a bit. Oh god. Oh, thank god. Okay, I was able to avoid falling in. That's the Tower of Quantum Knowledge. There is no route up. Okay, cool. Let's see what's up here. Where am I? This is the Southern Observatory. Things falling apart. Alright, that's... Continue down here. Spare jetpack fuel. It's annoying to schlep across the planet to the ship if I can't use my jetpack, so I'm leaving this here. I'm checked with my little scout. I do too use it, Hornpells, you burnt marshmallow. And the scout's integrity rating said this piece of brittle hollow is stable as any, but who knows. If the fuel's still around, feel free to use it. If not, well, wherever you're reading this, no, I'm assuming you have bigger problems. This is probably the last thing to go. Well, that was deeply unpleasant. I made it this far, though. I guess that's the part to focus on, and not how I'll eventually have to get back up the path. But wow, this place sure is something. Looks like the Hanging City is north from here, and east is a gravity cannon. I definitely want to see that. And another thing, I'm detecting oxygen from somewhere down below, which is good since I used up a lot of my energy screaming during the trip from the surface. As soon as I stop dry heaving, I'm going to head further down below so I can refill my tank. this hanging city, so let's go check that out. Probably should have recorded at his place. Blackwell Ports District. Ice Shrine District. Meltwater District. And School District. So one is school. So that one would be Meltwater. Let's go check out Meltwater. School. We're in the Meltwater. To see here. That just went. Ship hull breach detected. That's odd. Just ghost matter nearby. So I'm gonna go that way. This way. Probably wouldn't be hard to get parts if we stopped building other new things, if we broke down structures. Might have to build a smaller vessel now. They're usually large. Stop building so many things to search for the eye. We should have a warp core for jumping long distances. Renoan explores the universe in its own vessel. The vessel is the heart of every clan. It's not unusual for them to stay in one place. They're wanderers and have no permanent home. If we built a new vessel, we could return to our way of life. Even meet with other Nomai. Dang it. Solemnum landed a shuttle on the quantum moon. She landed her shuttle and prepared to make rest of the journey on foot. Visitors to the quantum moon always land on the South Pole for a reason that's unknown to the Nomai. Nomai City is suspended beneath Brittle Hollow's northern glacier. The city is divided vertically into 4 districts. We were called a Nomai shuttle from the quantum moon. There's more to explore. What is the eye of the universe? The eye is much older than this universe, so imagine how much it could teach us. Perhaps it is a cosmic library. Suppose the eye is a more advanced being. The eye is the source of the signal that brought us here. How can the eye be older than the universe itself? Suppose it is a relic from a previous universe. The early universe was unimaginably hot and dense. If anything has existed before, it would have been destroyed. Suppose the universe is older than previously assumed. What is the eye's signal? Suppose the eye wishes to communicate. The signal is a call. Were we the intended audience? The signal is I's voice. It speaks a language we don't know yet. Or maybe the eye is the signal is the eye's attempt at expressing itself. Of note, from the signal we are able to determine the eye's approximate age, or perhaps its lack of age. Be welcomed in this place. This shrine is a space to reflect on what brought us to this star system, the signal from the eye. We observed the eye's signal in our travels and followed it here to find its source. What we know is this: the source of the signal, which we have chosen to call the eye of the universe, is older than this universe itself. The rest we have yet to learn. Enter and open your mind to its possibilities. I imagine I've been hard on Poke again. This in turn means I have made things difficult for her sister, Clary. Poke and I are oil and water. Clary is our emulsifier. She certainly makes us a better team than would mixing through shaking, although I would like to shake Poke sometimes. Jokes aside, suppose my own fear of never finding the eye prompted my argument with Poke. That would be immature of me. I should apologize, at least to Clary, who could then tell Poke. Believe, as I did as a child on Ember Twin, that the eye of the universe, the source of the signal, wishes to harm us, but it may not want to be found either. The terrible circumstances of our arrival here were almost certainly that circumstance. I suspect in imagining we are special to the eye in some ways wishful thinking. The eye may have called out to any sentient species. Or it may not have been calling out at all, that my ancestors heard the eye signal holds no great deep meaning. This wouldn't be so bad, I think. In fact, the eye may not have wishes at all. We have no evidence for supporting this. Is this Somnus? Living space? Formation of festivals. All the Nomai clans from all over the universe meet in one space to share what they have learned in science and art. It's called the festival. At some festivals, one clan's big discovery can mean that all the Nomai get to get advanced too, like Anona's warp core, which made it so everyone can warp long distances and explore more. Each clan has a festival envoy to show their most interesting work. Our envoy was Thatch. We can't go because we're stuck here, but Felix says we used to go too. A single festival could last a very long time. Don't forget, festivals happening every 10 years. Formation of this universe. No one knows how this universe was made, but one thing we do know is everything used to be very hot and very dense, tightly packed together. As this early universe expanded, it also cooled down. Once it had cooled down enough, particles were able to group together to form things like galaxies, stars, and planets. Since then, space has continued to expand at a faster and faster rate, which is hard to think about for too long without your brain hurting. This universe will keep getting colder and larger until one day the stars and the life they support may all die. That's scary to think about, even though Kanoi tells me it won't happen in our lifetimes. But it'll happen in someone else's someday. Black hole forge controls. Requires a powerful, highly advanced warp core. How would should we obtain it? retrieve the warp core from the vessel. This would require a return to Dark Bramble, a plume my father said a good many Nomai perished there. My mentor Colas and his old mentor once discovered and studied an anglerfish fossil on Ember Twin. Using that knowledge, we could avoid the anglerfish entirely. I remember that anglerfish fossil. We used to play in Fossilfish Cave when we were children. What Mallory and I learned from that fossil would theoretically help us evade the anglerfish, but our hypothesis was never tested on a live specimen. The vessel's warp core is broken at best. All those present when the vessel crashed said it sustained lethal injuries. There's no guaranteed reward for this risk. Perhaps we could still repair it. My grandmother told me there was little time to assess the nature or extent of the damage. It feels strange trying to recreate Anona's warp core without him. At times, it still feels strange to no longer be his very young apprentice, and for the Black Hole Forge to be in my care and not his. Hypothesis: this will always be strange. Even though my time with him was short, I miss my old mentor, and deeply. To have the chance to try is thrilling, but I don't want to disappoint everyone. I think I can do this, probably, but what if excitement has clouded my assessment of my own abilities? Was I wrong in volunteering to build it? I was born in this star system and never saw Anona's warp core with my own 3 eyes. I only know what he taught me. What if I've bitten off a larger portion than I can consume? Still, all I can give is my best. As Anona would say, should my best prove insufficient, then we will need find another way to achieve what's needed. I have Clary and Root in the Forge, and I have my clan. I am not alone. Could craft a new advanced warp core inspired by the vessel's warp core. Abandoning the vessel's warp core and its casing means losing valuable knowledge. This is true, however, it's knowledge we have little hope of recovering. It would be best to relearn, I think. The greatest challenge here, I think, is we don't have the design for such a powerful core, or any of the original crafters of the vessel's core. No, but Poke was apprenticed to Anona, who crafted the original design, and our Black Hole Forge is adept at crafting simpler cores. While I believe I can be of use here. The vessel's warp core was created before my time, but Anona explained many of his designs to me. This is the safest path for our clan. Is the safest path the best one? Our goal is worth the risk. Is it, though? We've tried for so long to find something that I and others now believe might be impossible to find. If the search for the eye is a futile one, we should choose the option with the least potential for harm. I would very much like to craft such a powerful core. More relevantly, I believe the Black Hole Forge crew and I can create the basic design. Even if it no longer functions, the old core would be a valuable blueprint, provided we're able to transport it back here. The vessel's warp core broke when the ship crashed in Dark Bramble. The Nomai learned how to evade anglerfish, theoretically at least, by studying an anglerfish fossil they found on Ember Twin. The Black Hole Forge is suspended below the Hanging City. I found a switch in the Meltwater district that raises and lowers the forge. It's the highest district in the Hanging City. A Nomai named Poke planned to create an advanced warp core in the Black Hole Forge. The Nomai crafted warp cores at the Black Hole Forge before delivering them to Ash Twin. I found a switch in the Meltwater district that raises and lowers the Black Hole Forge. They debated how to obtain the powerful, highly advanced warp core that required for the Ash Twin project. They traveled to the solar system in pursuit of a signal from something older than the universe itself. They named the source of the signal the Eye of the Universe. The journey from here from the South Pole has been, I'm gonna go with harrowing, because of all of them, the meteors. But hey, at least I made it here unconcussed and not on fire. Okay, let me see. I poked around a little and there's some kind of old Nomai path that starts away from my campsite inside the ruined building with trees growing out of it. Doesn't look like anything horrible, just stairs leading down. I can handle stairs. After I get my supplies together, I'll follow my path and see where it leads. There's stuff to see here now. Getting better at navigating this. I'm at the shuttle. I'm ready to make my first pilgrimage to the Quantum Moon. It's exciting. You're almost ready, but there's still one more rule you need to learn. Come see me at the Tower of Quantum Knowledge. The tower is opposite of Brittle Hollow. If you follow the path west to the crossroads, you can reach the tower from there. My gratitude for the directions, Bells. I'll see you soon. Interesting. Okay. Gotta be careful. Okay.